All right, let's get right into it. What we're talking about here is a pretty fundamental shift in technology. I mean, a development that lets AI experience time at a speed that is, frankly, almost impossible for us to even imagine.
Now, I want you to really let that question sink in. Seriously, what if a robot could live 1,000 lifetimes in just one afternoon? This isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's the very heart of what we're exploring today, the absolutely mind-bending results of accelerated AI experience. So you're probably wondering, how is this even possible? Well, it all kicks off with a specific type of AI and the incredible virtual worlds being built just to train it. Look, we're not just talking about chatbots or something that writes emails. Embodied AI is all about giving AI a body. You know, a robot, a self-driving car, maybe a virtual avatar, something that has to learn by doing, by actually interacting with its environment, learning from its mistakes, basically just like we do. And that right there is the massive bottleneck. Imagine trying to teach a robot to walk by having it fall over thousands of times in the real world. It would take forever, and you'd probably destroy the robot in the process. Or worse, teaching a car to drive by just letting it crash. I mean, that's obviously a complete non-starter. The real world is just a terrible classroom for an AI that's just starting out. So what's the solution? Well, you move the classroom out of the real world and into AI-generated ones. You've got projects like Google's Genie 3, which can literally spin up interactive environments from a simple sentence. And then there are open source engines like the Genesis project building these physics-capable universes designed for one thing, training AI. And this is where the speed becomes just almost incomprehensible. These simulations can run at 43 million frames per second on a single GPU. Let me put that in perspective. It means an AI can live through 5 entire days of experience in a single second of our time. Years are literally compressed into minutes. Okay, so what's the first huge problem we can tackle with this kind of incredible power? Well, the most obvious one is also one of the biggest challenges in AI right now: self-driving cars. The difference here is just night and day. The old way means slowly, carefully driving on real roads, just hoping you eventually run into those 1 in a million edge cases. You know, like a patch of black ice on a sharp curve, or a kid suddenly chasing a ball between 2 parked cars. The new way? We can generate millions of those edge cases in an afternoon, letting the AI fail safely, 1 million times over, and learn from every single mistake. And this is exactly why the goal isn't to create an AI that drives like a human. That's setting the bar way too low. The goal is to create something vastly, vastly superior. An AI that has millions of lifetimes of driving experience, one that has already seen and mastered every bizarre edge case imaginable, and one that never ever gets tired or distracted. A true super driver. It's really the perfect analogy. Remember how AlphaGo totally mastered the game of Go? It did it by playing millions of games against itself, way more than any human could ever play. This AI is going to master driving in the exact same way, by experiencing billions of miles in a simulation. But look, this is so much bigger than just driving. This whole principle of accelerated experience, it applies to literally any physical skill you can think of. Just try to imagine this. A top professional footballer, a legend, might play, 1,000 games in their entire career? This AI has played 200 million. It would see every pass, every shot, every defensive formation before it even started to happen. Or let's take it a step further. A martial artist who's been through 1 million different fights against 1 million different opponents, it would recognize every fighting style instantly, counter every move flawlessly, and see openings with a speed and precision that's just, well, it's beyond human. No, really. Just pause for a second and think about that. What would that level of skill even look like to us? It wouldn't just look like they're really, really good. It would look like they can see the future. It would look supernatural. All right, so it can master physical tasks. That's huge. But surely that's where it stops, right? Well, not exactly. The logic of running these super fast simulations, it doesn't just stop at things we can see and touch. And yeah, this is the question pretty much everyone asks. If the whole point is simulating bodies and movement, how on earth could that apply to something abstract like science? It's because the environment doesn't have to be a road or a football field. The environment can be a molecular landscape inside a cell. And the actions the AI takes,
they can be genetic mutations. The lifetimes it lives through, they can be entire evolutionary pathways. So what you do is you model that incredibly complex dance of molecules, and then you just let the AI run billions of what-if scenarios. What if this gene changes? What happens if we introduce the specific drug? It's basically like having a crystal ball for biology, one that can compress centuries of painstaking trial and error research into a matter of days. And this, of course, brings us to the biggest questions of all. If this technology is really that powerful, what does it mean for society? For us? For our most difficult, most stubborn problems?
Right, and this is the critical elephant in the room question. It is so easy to get swept up in the potential here, but we have to ground ourselves in reality. If this superhuman AI is possible, why isn't it solving everything for us right now? Well, the answer is that there's still a big gap between the perfect world of the simulation and the messy real world. First, cancer isn't just one problem. It's a universe of thousands of different diseases. And simulating the chaotic, interconnected complexity of a human body is just orders of magnitude harder than simulating traffic. And even if the AI finds a perfect answer in the simulation, that cure still has to go through years of slow, careful, and absolutely essential human trials. This all leads to this really fascinating idea called retrospective simplicity. Think about some of the greatest breakthroughs in history. They almost always seemed impossibly complex, right up until the moment someone solved them. And then, looking back, the solution often seems almost obvious, simple even.
So the ultimate question this technology really leaves us with is this: what problem that we see today as impossibly complex, curing cancer, fixing climate change, maybe even understanding consciousness itself, what impossible problem will an AI, after living a million lifetimes in an afternoon, reveal to have a simple solution that was hiding in plain sight this whole time?